January is like the Sunday of the year, you know, like you kind of go, oh, yeah, I'll prepare for tomorrow. And then February comes, I think things start happening.
And when kids get back to school and all that too.
Kids get back to school, back in routine. Really, I always say, you know, the 31st of January you have to start preparing, and the 1st of February is really the start of the motivational year, if you like, your goals and what you're going to do for this year.
Positive changes and all of that.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't have to be grand things. Sometimes it's just adjusting one or two little things.
Okay. And so I suppose it's recognising the changes that you need to make and want to make as well, isn't it? And then I suppose going about it, how do you go about it and like planning it?
Yeah, well, that is the most important part, Deb, I think. You're right. It's like if you feel sick, the first thing is to get a diagnosis. You got to know what it is. Yeah, that's right. And with these things, you're right. First things, you need to identify the things you need to change, and that is sometimes quite hard because we're so used to them. We create habits, sometimes good ones, a lot of bad ones, and
we stay with the old because it's comfortable.
It's comfortable, yeah. We're creatures of habit. Comfort is nice, but it's also a barrier to success. We know that. You know, there's two things that are a barrier to success, fear and comfort.
Yeah.
And so we have to try to override that. Doesn't mean that we have to be fearless all the time or in discomfort all the time. No, it just means that if we're in a situation and we don't change because it's too comfortable in this, but it's still bad for us.
Yes.
That's the ones that we got to change. And sometimes I'm a big believer of little things at a time. Break them up in chunks, like Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman Empire philosopher, said. You know, you grab a problem and you just break it up in chunks. It's like making a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? You just slowly select your pieces and take one area at a time, or else it becomes overwhelming.
Yes, it can, can't it? So would you write it down too? Would you have a little plan of what you're going to do first?
100%. I think visualization is important.
Yeah.
And once we write the plan down and we see it on a piece of paper, it makes more sense to the brain. And that's what motivation is, for the brain to say, yep, I want to do this, you know, without you forcing yourself. And that's all really what motivation is. But the only way to do that is by convincing the brain, yeah, I'm going to do exercise, I want to save money, I want to give up alcohol or whatever it may be, and have that in a relatively medium-term basis, and then keep renewing that plan. It's very hard just to lock it in forever. You've got to keep on top of it with these things. But the start is that, we convince the brain. Like you said, identify what it is, and then don't overwhelm yourself. If it's something big that you need to change, break it up. Okay, what's the first step? It's like having a map, isn't it?
Yes.
If you want to go somewhere,
you've got to get to somewhere first.
That's right. But isn't it great when you see the map and you go, oh yeah, there's the route. That's where I've got to go. When your brain sees it, it's like when you put it into your phone as well, and the navigator. Once you see it, it makes a big difference where you're going. And even in the past with old-fashioned maps, the fact that you can see it in front of you, it makes a huge difference. Same with planning for your own future. If you can see it, write it down, make sure that you renew it and look at it every day. That's
so true, Carlos. And even if you fail, don't beat yourself up. Just keep trying. Failing is part of the plan. Yeah. It would be ridiculous to have any plan in life, whatever, in anything, whether it's in sport, in art, in relationships, dieting, without factoring in failure. Yeah. It would be that doesn't happen. We know, like the good coaches, for example, in many sports, they factor that in tremendously. Do they? Yeah.
Because it's realistic. And so what are we going to do when we do fail? What are we going to work on? Now we've got something to work on. So they focus on, okay, to get better, not to get perfect, but to get better, we need to use these failures as tools. So not fear these failures, but utilize them in order to progress. And if you didn't fail, you wouldn't recognise that there's something you need to work harder on. That's right. And the only people that don't fail are the people that don't try. Yeah, true. And it's it's very easy not to fail. Very easy not to fail. Just don't try anything. Yes, just sit back in your comfort zone. Yeah, and some people do that. Right. Some people do that. That's fine. But it depends on your personality. What I find, people that are very successful just, in a way, almost crave failure because they know it's the only way to get to success.
And they love challenges too.
That's right. Or Michael Jordan, the great basketballer, some consider the best ever. He talks a lot about all the shots he's missed to win a game, which there's dozens of them.
And then he'll keep practicing.
Well, the thing is that people talk about the ones he actually got. Because they're the ones that count. But he says, I had to miss this many to get those ones.
True.
You know, you have to miss in order to get in order to be in a position to win a game in the last second.
Yeah.
You would have had to do that many, many times.
And lots of work.
That's the probability. It's like fishing, isn't it? In order to get one fish, you're going to have to lose a lot of bait first.
It's true.
Sometimes you're lucky and it doesn't happen, but probability doesn't work that way. It's a formula. So you know that in order to, for example, to sell this book, for example, I bought in today.
You did.
I need to knock on 10 doors, for example, for a certain price. And so you might get 9 no's to start off with. That's fine. And you know you're getting closer to the one that's going to say yes. And in life, it's a bit like that, whether it's losing weight, saving money, planning for a trip, or you're changing jobs or whatever it may be, you know there's going to be some obstacles, and that's fine. You factor them in.